Hi guys, my name is Sidney Bristol and this is My Life in Developmental Edits, my vlog chronicling the beginning of my career as a full-time author. It is March 22nd, it is 4:39 p.m. and I've got a really long to-do list and I'm probably about halfway there today. My big accomplishments for today is I'm starting to put Dangerous in Training up for pre-order. I've set it right now for June or I think June 21st, but the book is going to release a lot sooner than that. There's just some promo coming up, and I figured, it would be better to go ahead and give people who definitely, oh, I just said it again, that word. So, for those who haven't watched, I keep saying the word definitely, and I said yesterday I was going to really try to not say it, and here I just said it again. So Dangerous in Training is going up for pre-order. By the time I publish this, I will hopefully have all of the links for the pre-order, and I will stick those in the liner notes below. So if you'd like to pre-order the book that I've chronicled the beginning up till now for this book. So if you would like to grab that and see what stress and necessity is produced, feel free to grab a copy of that book. So I published a vlog a few days ago, and a commenter asked if I would discuss getting a cover artist. I'm super lucky in that I've had wonderful luck finding Charity Hendry, who does most of my, or actually really pretty much all of my indie covers. I think there's only two that she hasn't done. And finding the right cover artist is kind of a trial and tribulation. Charity was not my first. She is the one that I've stuck with. That's very important, I think, to know, is that just because you get a cover doesn't mean you have to stick with it. So, when you work with a publisher, you are going to fill out forms. You're going to fill out art forms, and those look different for different publishing houses. You have to kind of decide what's really important to you as far as what you want. For example, Drive, the first Hot Rides book. I submitted a large packet of information, and I had examples, and I had this, I had that, I had a lot of different things, and I gave that to them. I was like, well, you know what? As long as they get the car right, I'll be happy. Because when it comes to covers where you're working with a publisher, you don't get a lot of say. Honestly, as long as I get my name right, the cover's right, and it looks genre appropriate, I'm typically very happy. I'm happy with with the covers I get. The Kensington Crew knocked those covers just those are amazing covers. I could not be happier with those. When it comes to indie, it's a little bit harder because you have options, and sometimes those like just having options can be debilitating. I mean, it's like going to one of those all you eat can eat buffets, and there's just so many things, and so what do you get? Where do you start? You just don't know. So it helps. Okay, so let's first talk about like how to locate a cover artist. My number one suggestion would be to go on to uh, Amazon is the one we're all most familiar with. You could also go to Goodreads or just some site that has the ability to search on your genre. Excuse me. That's why I write a lot of romantic suspense. So if I go on Amazon, I'm going to search under Kindle romance, romantic suspense. And I would go through and I would look at the top 100 covers. And I would look through those, and I would pick out, like 3 to 10 different covers that I really liked. If there's a cover that stands out to me and it looks like it's well done, maybe if it's not even really a cover I would want, I would for sure see if I could see their back matter, because ideally most indie authors are crediting their cover artist in their back matter. So you're gonna have to spend a couple dollars, or you're gonna have to feel comfortable reaching out and asking those authors, who is your cover artist, who does the work for you. So buying those books, looking for the cover, looking to see who does those covers, and then researching those cover artists. If you're in a lot of different indie author groups, there are a lot of different lists and recommendations for cover artists. But sometimes what you really have to do is you have to go out there and you have to find someone. I did that with one of my very, very first indie books. I actually used one of the same cover artists I'd used in Alora's Cave. I love her work. I think that she's amazing to work with. I just found that though those were the covers I wanted, and I like those covers are still so very, very sentimental and near and dear to my heart. I still own books with those covers. They're in my closet over here, but they just weren't selling. They didn't do the job. So once you locate someone, then you have to figure out how to communicate to them what you want or what you need. Some artists are going to have forms to help them get information out of you. Um, I realize that some people don't like forms, but try and use those forms because a good artist is going to know how they communicate. Maybe they're a left brain or a right brain or a whole brain person. There are different ways to communicate with those people. I'm a whole brain person, so I can really go either way. So work with your cover artist. My mentality is always my artist knows art better than I do. I'm also really lucky in that my cover artist has amazing marketing chops. So I feel very comfortable going to her. And my process with Charity is different from what it might be with another cover artist. With Charity, I can go, here's 4 or 5 genre appropriate covers on Amazon that I like. I like this, I like that, and I like this. Can we take those 3 things with my idea and can we get a cover? Just make something, make it really, really cool. And I would say typically Charity knocks it out of the park within 2, maybe 3 tries. I think 3 is the most we've ever had to say, and it doesn't work. Because she just, I don't know. She gets me, she gets my head, and she gets my books, and I think that's really, really important, and it's why I keep using her. However, there are people that write in lots of different genres, and sometimes some artists don't do other genres so well. So it could be beneficial to have one artist who does your contemporary covers, another artist who does a different kind of cover, or it might be beneficial, to go for different series and have a different artist for different series. Um, Let me think. What else? Don't ever, my number one thing is don't ever be afraid to tell your artist you don't like something, that something isn't working, because you're paying for a service, you're paying for a product. And if you cannot work with and communicate with this person, it's not a working relationship you want to stick with. Again, that's one reason why I love Charity so much. Not that this is like the charity show and I'm totally pimping her out, but I've just been very, very lucky in working with her. I know that I've heard some horror stories with people who come back and they have this artist that won't do any tweaks, won't take any feedback, won't make any changes, and that's not the kind of person you want to work with. So talk to me if you're comfortable with it. Talk to some authors who have used a cover artist, ask for references, follow up with people who have done testimonials or whose covers are on artists websites, and talk to them, because this is a person who who is arguably going to be a huge driving force in creating sales for your book. The Bound Memories book, I think, sells really, really well on its own, just based on the strength of the cover, because it's gorgeous and it is a very striking visual image. And that one was a one and done, I think. Um, and another thing, okay, so a lot of us, whenever we're writing a book, there's a scene or there's a very, very specific character appearance that we get stuck in our heads. And it's important to know that that's very crucial information to us, it's near and dear to our hearts, we have to separate ourselves from what we want and go with what's going to sell the book. Because it's great and all to write, to have a cover that captures this wonderful, lovely moment of the book, but it doesn't sell. So there's a difference between creating great art and creating a wonderful marketing piece. And this is marketing, and it's kind of where we have to separate our creative, touchy-feely, woo-woo brains from the marketing, have to make some hard choices to sell a book. And so it's great and really, really great to find an artist who's on your side, and can get where you are and where you're coming from and really put that into a cover. Um, so yeah, so that's a little bit on finding cover artists and on communicating with cover artists. There's a lot more I can say. I just kind of came into this with just a few talking points, and that's kind of it. I'm more than willing to answer questions. I will include Charity's website below in the liner notes, and if I can drum up some different recommendations for cover artists, I will also include those in the liner notes. There's some great, just phenomenal artists out there. So go talk to them, read up on their websites, ask questions, look and see who's doing covers that you love, because chances are it's someone you could work with. And there's nothing more exciting than being able to say, I worked with that person, because that's what I say every time. Every time I get a charity cover, I'm like, yes, I get to work with this person and I love it. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Feel free again to ask me any questions. I'd love to help someone else find a cover artist that really gets them. So yeah, thanks. Bye guys.